Hello, my name is Nico Steves. Welcome to this extended history of the Virgin Mary, which goes beyond the scope of my book. For those of you just subscribing to these podcasts, here is a bit of background about my book, The Very Fine Light. The Very Fine Light is a contemporary novel with Christian themes about a village on the verge of bankruptcy, the mayor with a secret, and Randy, a fun-loving co-worker who's always in trouble for telling it like it is. Oh, one other thing. For those of you currently reading my book, The Very Fine Light, please, when you finish it, do go to the book's Amazon.com page and rate it. I have a link at nicosteves.com that will get you to the page on Amazon. So, as always, stay tuned by joining my mailing list. This is where you'll be the first in line for specials. Just go to nicosteves.com to sign up. I'm going to depart from specific apparitions of the Virgin Mary to cover a bit of ground surrounding a few saints during the times when the British Isles were exporting the Apostolic Church beliefs into the European continent. Before the religious split between the Church of England and the Roman Catholic Church, and yes, even back further, before the split between the Roman Catholic and Eastern Orthodox churches, then was a period of time before the year 1000 AD, when all the Christian churches had been united and was the universal church. During my research covering the British Isles in that early period of time, I learned about two families near Wessex, England, who had merged through marriage. To my surprise, I discovered within this family there had been 6 members who had become saints, and they all lived at the same time within a 75-year period around the 700s. You heard correctly, there were 6 of these folks that became saints, and I believe you will find their stories intriguing. So I'll go global to give an overview of their relationships to each other, and then in future podcasts, I'll go more in depth for each of the saints. Their names are remarkably similar sounding, so I'm going to use the most distinctive interpretations of their names for these podcasts in order to keep confusion to a minimum. As always, there will be pictures and links on my website for more information at nicosteves.com. So buckle up your seat and here goes. In the early 700s, 2 families became unified by marriage. The influences of one reinforced the other with respect to their families following the course of religious studies rather than concentrating on acquiring and maintaining power over the lands they lived on. First off, the marriage that binded the 2 families, that of Saint Richard the Pilgrim, who was also known as Richard, King of Wessex. Not only was Richard a saint, but he married Saint Wuna, an Anglo-Saxon noblewoman, and her brother was also a saint. His name was Saint Boniface, who went to evangelize Germany, and he became known as the Apostle of Germany. So there are 3 saints so far. Now the children from the marriage of Saint Richard and Saint Wuna are the other 3 saints I will mention in future podcasts. The eldest was Saint Winebald, and he was followed by a younger brother, Saint Willibald, and the final saint was their younger sister, Saint Valpurga. Saint Boniface and his sister Saint Wuna are sometimes referred to as cousins, but my survey finds they frequently are called brother and sister, and as you most likely know, in the olden times, cousins are known as siblings as well. Saint Boniface was born in 680 AD, and his parents hoped to raise him to be an active member of their affluent community. However, it's said there were several monks visiting his parents' home, and they inspired him at an early age to go into the monastery there. He studied and became a monk, and at the age of 30 became a priest. Well, he remained in England for 20 years before choosing to become a missionary to Europe, specifically in what is now the Netherlands and Bavaria. Initially on his first mission, he was stifled, and he had to retreat back to England, and while there he was given the role of abbot, and it was understood that he could have remained in England forever. But he declined because his zeal for spreading the word of Christ to the tribes of Europe demanded he return a short time later. Once back upon the continent, he traveled first to Rome, desiring to meet Pope Gregory III. St. Boniface was appointed to be the missionary bishop of what at the time was called Germania. Around 720 A.D., it was written that the bishop, without a home church, was able to bring into Christian worship thousands and thousands. His abilities were many, and in addition to this success, his other talents were for organizing and formalizing the Christian church, including his desire for establishing new monasteries across that region. But the ongoing wars in the area between the pagan lords and the Christian lords made his work extremely dangerous. An excerpt from a prayer credited to St. Boniface includes this overarching thought: "Let us tell the truth about God. Let us die for the holy laws of our Father." The pressures to find monks and priests to help in these efforts drove St. Boniface back to Rome in the year 738. He had an audience with the Bishop of Rome, and Pope Gregory allowed him his request. St. Boniface had requested his nephew, St. Willibrord, to join his missionary efforts in Germany. Before long, the association of the uncle and nephew founded a dual monastery known as Hildesheim to train monks and nuns in the region. And you'll hear more about St. Willibrord and their efforts in a later podcast. A story associated with St. Boniface includes a miracle, and it talks about something many people today are familiar with through the popular comic and movie character Thor, and you may find this interesting. The year is unknown when St. Boniface chose to confront a group of non-Christians who worshiped Thor, the god of thunder. Every Christmas time, they would gather around a huge oak tree to offer sacrifices to Thor. St. Boniface wanted to show them that their superstitions surrounding the power of Thor was untrue. They had said that anyone who tried to destroy the great oak would be struck dead by Thor. During their gathering, St. Boniface appeared with an axe and hacked away at the tree. Those present were in shock over this act and anxiously looked on, hoping to see St. Boniface struck dead. Some accounts claim that upon striking the tree, a great wind miraculously came and pushed the tree over. St. Boniface wanted to show them that their superstitions were for naught, and brought those present into the Christian religion. The prayer credited to St. Boniface I find inspiring. See if you can visualize it. Quote, "In her voyage across the ocean of this world, the Church is like a great ship being pounded by the waves of life's different stresses. Our duty is not to abandon ship, but to keep her on her course. Let us stand fast in what is right, and prepare our souls for trial. Let us wait upon God's strengthening aid, and say to him, O Lord, you have been our refuge in all generations. Let us trust in him who has placed this burden upon us. What we ourselves cannot bear, let us bear with the help of Christ, for he is all-powerful and tells us, My yoke is easy and my burden light. Let us continue the fight on the day of the Lord. The days of anguish and of tribulation have overtaken us. If God so wills, let us die for the holy laws of our fathers, so that we may deserve to obtain an eternal inheritance with them." There's more to come for the other 5 saints in future podcasts of Constant Procession. Till next week, I'm Nico Steves here. My book, The Very Fine Light, can be found using the title, The Very Fine Light, on Amazon.com. Please feel free to contact me at nicosteves.com. That's Nikos Steves, Steves.com. If you like this episode, and for more, share them with friends. This is Nico Steves. Thank you. See you next time.